verse number 14. Devadvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Shauchamarjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsam Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. So the verse is supposed to be taken together. Devadvija Guru Pragya Pujanam Sauchamarjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsam Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. So that means, as we are talking about three types of Shraddha, we are supposed to cover different types of Shraddha, and already we have covered Ahara and Yajna. So after discussing Ahara and Yajna, then here it comes Tapas. So far we have seen this both Ahara and Yajna based on Guna. But here Tapas is being divided little differently. Two levels. First is Karana Drishtya, then comes Guna Drishtya. So when we say Karana Drishtya, means based on the instruments. That means the organs with which we practice tapas. So general translation of tapas is called austerity. But we say willfully, when you are able to withdraw yourself, that is called tapas. So your will is involved to find out whether you have mastery over your sense organs or not. That's why externally, if you observe, there is no difference between fasting and starving. So both the party, let us say, are not taking food, but there is a difference. So what is the difference? The one who is starving has no choice. There is no will involved. Whereas the one who is fasting, there is will involved. So externally, even though both looks alike, but internally there is big difference. So that's why whenever the word tapas comes, we carefully translate as self-discipline, rather austerity. However, here when tapas is being divided, firstly Karana Drishtya, so Karana means instrument, the organs by the help of which one practices tapas. So you can say organ-based classification. And of course, it has been classified into three categories. One is called Kaikam, second one is called Vachikam, third one is called Manasam. So Kaikam means physical, related to physical body. Then Vachikam related to speech, Manasam means related to mind. And of course, Lord Krishna again is going to talk after dividing this into this Karana Drishtya from the standpoint of Karanam, the instrument. Later on, it will say Guna Drishtya means Sattvika, Rajasic, and Tamasic. Now, first let us look at this Karana Drishtya Trividha Tapaha. So that means, if we look at, says beautifully this verse directly, that all sort of puja comes under Kaika Tapas. So any ritual one does, it will come under Kaika Tapas, physical austerity. Why and how? First of all, when a person does puja, the alasyam, the laziness of the person goes away. And the laziness is in 3 levels. Mind lazy, speech lazy, and of course body lazy. And interestingly, through puja, all sort of laziness is taken care. That's why when we do puja, we fix the time. Not when I get up or when I feel like. You understand? It doesn't work. Do you know, very nicely, that previous comes, that the previous verse, na, Vidhihinam, Asusthannam, Mantrahinam, Adakshinam, Sraddha Vidhatyam Yagyam Tamasam Parikshakshate. So in that I can say, we have very nicely. Do you know those who chant this Vishnu Sahasranam? Finally what they would say, Rama Rameti. Come on. Finally, Varanane. So one verse is there. Okay, very nice. Because somehow I like that, that verse to remember. Because really, one should remember that verse. It's, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rama Rami Varanane Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So those who cannot chant Vishnu Sahasranama, suppose you are occupied, you don't have much time, so you can chant this line 3 times. The punyam is equivalent to chanting complete Vishnu Sahasranama. Same thing for Lalita Sahasranama also we have. Okay? So for everything there is a shortcut. Now, if a person always adopts these shortcuts, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rama Rama Varanane Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. I have chanted Vishnu Sahasranama, I have chanted Lalita Sahasranama, I have chanted all Sahasranama. Remember, the laziness in my mind is going to increase. Smartness of my mind, of course, is going to be stronger, no doubt in it. So, here we say puja means it is supposed to be done in a given time. So, the time has to be fixed. So, then only it will remove the laziness. In those days we had this television, okay? So, television was having big tummy. But our tummies were flat. You understand? Because why? You have to get up, tune, changing the channel you have to, and come back and sit. Nowadays what we have? A remote. Ting tang. Nowadays also you don't need remote, you need phone. Okay? With the phone you can do everything. Now TVs have become flat. but tummies are completely TV. You understand? So this is nothing but because of laziness. And of course in puja, you have a lot of things, including you have to get up many times, do namaskaram, pradakshinam. So that also takes care of your physical laziness. And of course when you start chanting, you have to remember this mantra, that mantra, combining swaras, everything put together, that also takes care of your mental laziness. Verbal laziness. And of course along with that, mental laziness. And of course, we didn't have this sort of, this morning walk. Nowadays, morning walk association, okay, everywhere. You don't have to. Because what was earlier practices? Because people are supposed to go to the temple. So when go to the temple? In Sattvika time. Because whole day also is divided. First few hours as Sattvik, next few hours as Rajasic, and last towards evening called Tamasic hours. That's why evening hours, all processions and everything happens in the temples. So one is supposed to go to the temple in the morning. So when you go to the morning, of course, seeing the temples, when you do pradakshinam 1 round or 2 rounds or 1 round, 3 rounds, 7 rounds, what happens? Your morning walk is done perfectly. You don't need, and that to bare feet, with good vibe. At least you don't have to look at whether dog shit is there or some other shit is there, you understand? How? So the first thing is, puja helps us to overcome, to manage or to get rid of our alasyam. The second point of puja is that, which I personally feel is most important for all of us. It is a beautiful method to revive our relationship with the Lord. Because in our life, with whomsoever we live, we stay, we have a relationship. And for every relationship, we spare our time. And when we don't spare our time, we don't relate properly, you know what happens. But remember, all the relationships that we have where we are spending time are called secondary relationships. With a person, whether it's your father, mother, your wife, husband, lover, beloved, child, friends, whatever, whomsoever, is 10, 20, 30, 40 years of relationship. Whereas the prime relationship, please understand, primary relationship is with God. So that being the universal relationship, that being the primary relationship, am I not supposed to spare time? Though that's why we say very carefully, because in every janma, not in this janma only, janma means birth, in every janma, I am related to Lord. Especially the relationship is what? Karya, Karana, Sambandha. I am the product. The God is the source, the cause. The cause and product relationship. It's like the cloth is connected all the time with the cotton, with the thread. Even if cloth does not want to announce, so also I am always connected to the Lord. That's why it is my primary relationship. So that's why all the time I need to be very careful. And thirdly, when you look at puja helps to become humble by expressing gratitude. So when I do puja, whether I like it or not, I have to bend down. Like, especially in Rishikesh, we have a beautiful observation. I was talking to somebody, especially in these Vedanta ashrams, including our ashram, don't worry. When any brahmachari or anybody comes to study Vedanta, so first time when they come to ashram, very nicely, they do proper namaskaram and in fact bend down. After 1 month, bending down, forget, then it will come to. Then slowly, after 3 months, the hand will be on the chest. Means we say called Pahunch Gaya Mahatma. Already person has achieved, reached. Then finally, just smile, head. Then after that, means already reveling in the Brahman, okay? No humility at all. Whereas if you go to this bhakti-based ashrams, what they do, what they don't do is not a point for me. Point is, at least physically they bend down. Prabhuji, that's big thing, which is nice, which is good. So what I am trying to say is that when a person does puja, at least learns to express gratitude in the process, develops what? Develops humility. And of course, when a person does puja, the clarity in thinking takes place. Why? Because puja involves cleanliness. Starting with body and of course speech and mind. That's why we have, after taking shower, changing the cloth and all these things, then comes what? Still for mantra snanam, apavitro pavitro va. Then Achyutaya namo, Anantaya namo, 3 times that we do to do the antasuddhi. Still we are not sure, then do the pranayama. So when all these rituals, vidhis, the systems that are involved in puja takes care of the cleanness, because wherever there is a cleanness, their mind starts working systematically. You can see for yourself. Starting with table, I see for me always in the computer. So computer desktop full of files. What happens? What to do, what not to do. Which file is open, you continue. Other file you don't bother. You understand? Same thing also if the house is a mess. How can your thinking be systematic? So that's why puja helps your mind to become systematic. So that's why cleanness helps mind to become systematic. And of course, through puja, one becomes a stable person. Because the person understands that I have an ultimate backup. So when you understand there is something, there is someone, there is somebody who is my ultimate backup, will you be bothered? Will you feel disturbed? Definitely not. There is a beautiful story goes like this. A young couple thought of going, let us say, for their honeymoon. And they had to take the help of a ferry. And of course, when they are in the middle of the river, a particular storm came and it was disturbing too much. All were scared. But this young man was sitting very comfortably. Newly married wife, without understanding him much, was worried. What is happening? Is he okay? Mentally okay or not? What is happening? No disturbance, nothing. In fact, goes and shakes. Says, still this man sits perfectly. The woman went crazy. That means maybe I am married to a wrong person. Mentally challenged, who knows what. And you know, women, they cannot keep quiet, whether it's right time or wrong time, okay? So they want to find out that they are always right, others are wrong. I don't know from where the gene comes, okay? However, this young woman tried to shake him. I would like to know what is happening to you. And of course, the young man got some sharp thing which were nearby, just caught hold of the lady, this young woman called wife, caught hold of her head and tried to put that sharp knife near the neck. Now what happens to the lady? Was in the first instant was second, but next time did not move, did not bother, because this girl surrendered. Then this man said, why are you not moving? Why are you not scared? The woman said, after all, you are my husband. I know you will not kill me. I know you love me. Me being part of you, part of your life, you will never kill me. And when first time I was shocked because I didn't relate with you. The moment I understood, oh, you are my husband. You will never do this. I don't bother. That time this person dropped it, smiling, said, same thing happens to me. When I am related to the God, to the Lord, to the universal law, and if there is storm, I know God is going to take care. Why should I bother? Let it happen, whatever to happen. That is called relationship. However, so Lord also takes care of this. So through puja, we do take care of this aspect. That's why we do follow lot of procedures. And most important thing is also through puja, the social unification also happens. You start socializing, you try to present yourself in a better way. That's why we come together through the puja. That's why if you observe, all pujas are being designed in such a way when the market is lazy, supposed to be. But of course, in Hinduism, puja was different, in other religions, it's different. Let me start with Hinduism. If you observe in Dakshinayana, now more pujas are there than Uttarayanam. Do you know why? Because in Dakshinayana, lot of activities people do. So that you should not, because harvesting, lot of things are there. People are engaged. So there is a process that you become a mechanical person. You may get tired, exhausted. That's why puja comes to socialize, to share. It's a very amazing way of doing it. That's why also in Christianity, the Christmas Eve was imagined because they know that during this 25th and of course towards end, the whole market, because of snow and whatnot, everything is other way around. So this is the time to put this Christmas, the birthday of Jesus, which was not there, as you know. Just 250 years old, this method. Earlier it was not there at all. It started from London. The king, twice, two kings, they were coronated on such that day. So then they adopted this method. I am not talking about, okay, history talks. So that means it's very clear. The puja helps at least social unification. With this, I think, let us look at the verse. So first he says, to whom to do puja? So he says, look, first is Deva, Dvija, Guru, Pragyam, Pujanam. Worship of the God. Okay, you may say, I understand. Worshipping God because you talk a lot. But why you say this God, and already there are so many gods we have discussed. 330 million based on sattvic, rajasic and tamasic aspect. So how do you present that? We say very clearly, God is really formless. But the problem is, we cannot relate with all-pervading formless Lord. So because we cannot relate, especially in our crucial time, especially when I am disturbed, so I cannot relate with the formless, all-pervasive Lord. That's why I relate with an idol who represents the formless. That's why we say we relate with a given aspect of Lord. That's why we have different types of Lord. For example, if a person is going through a lot of fear, panic attack, or enemy fear, we say you can worship Hanuman. Because today is Tuesday, his day, okay, that's why. So the moment you start, worshipping Hanuman, even if just Hanuman Chalisa or whatever, Hanuman Stava, so automatically it becomes easier, your things comes down. Because you relate that aspect. So that's why whenever we worship our Ishtadevata, we say what? The form that I like. Ishtadevata means the form I like. That means what? The aspect that is lacking in me is being visualized in a given form. So that's why we say very carefully, we need to do puja, a Lord in a given form, have idol, spend doing puja. You will see a big difference in you. Then the second one is called Dvija. So Dvija means generally called the Brahmins. Actually, maybe I should translate a little differently here. Dvija means twice born. So when we say twice born, what it means here is the one who follows dharmic life, the one who knows Shastra. So here Divija represents Shastram. So that means what? When a person follows Shastra, so definitely we need to respect, we need to worship. So indirectly we are valuing Shastra, worshipping Shastra. So that you don't develop ego. That's why you can see big when they go to the temple or when they call the priest to their house to do the puja, at least that time they have to do namaskaram properly. Even if the priest is very young. It's amazing. Even if priest is 11 years, let us say 12-year-old boy just has becoming priest, but this person is 70-year-old, very rich, very powerful, but has to, do proper namaskaram and asking or waiting for Ashrivadam, Akshata. So that at least we learn not to develop our ego. So we handle that. Then comes Guru Pujanam. So Guru Pujanam means starting from your mother, father, also the one who taught you alphabets in the schools. And finally, Atma Jnana Guru, the one who taught you this Atma Jnanam, self-knowledge. So that means what? So in short, starting with what? Paravidya, Aparavidya. Two, Aparavidya and Paravidya, both. And finally says, Pragya Pujanam iti. So Pragya means a wise person, Jnani Purusha ityartha. That's why Dvija, Pragya, there is difference. So Dvija means one who is dharmic. Here Pragya means the one who is dharmic, also having Brahma Vidya. Both. So that means what? This is called what? Called tapas. And of course we'll see Saucham, Arjavam. At least with this what happened, first thing is, I don't know whether anything happens or not through the puja. One thing is, your cholesterol gets reduced. There are two types of cholesterol, okay? One is cholesterol in the blood, cholesterol in the mind. I personally feel the cholesterol in mind is more dangerous than the cholesterol in the blood. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Please. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.